Hey, Hope Dealers. Okay, I'm going to do just a short little training today on structure. Actually, there have been a lot of questions or comments about a couple things that have been talked about lately: structure, consistency, and systems. So I'm going to do 3 short trainings on each of those so that they are short and you can choose which one, and so it's not just one big long training. So today mostly on calendar. So just some tips that I have adopted that have helped my business immensely and keeping me organized, for lack of a better word. So I'm going to show on my calendar mostly what I have done. So I have adopted Google Calendar. So whatever calendar you want to do, but for me, it's most important to have something that goes from my computer to my phone. So if you're only operating from your phone, that's cool. But if you've got a computer and a phone, just make sure you've got something that can do both. So I actually created a Gmail account. I mostly use SBC Global, but I created a Google Gmail account, and you can have that forwarded very easily. I'm not going to go into that now, but you can just Google, how do I have a Gmail account forward to another account if you have a main account, so you don't have to keep checking your Gmail account. All that's very easy. Just Google is the answer to everything. But that way you can have a Google Calendar, and I don't know if you can see it here on my phone. There's too much glare. There you can see it. That's Google Calendar. So it syncs. Anything you do on your computer syncs up to your phone. But if you're only operating on your phone, that's cool. But it's great. You can make an update on one, it's going to go to the other. That's going to keep everything super, super organized. But just to have something, if I have to write everything on paper and then change something, scratch it out, erase it, do it, I can't keep up with that. But a digital calendar like Google is awesome. So what I'm going to do is share and let you see my Google Calendar. So this isn't going to be exactly like yours. Mine's got a lot of stuff on it, but the number one thing really is what, to me, I color code, and that helps a lot. So we have stuff with my son, not a lot, but things that have to be blocked off. He's green, his eyes are green, mine are too, but whatever. He's got horseback. This has got to be blocked off. I've got to take him. I choose to take him, and I stay there. So I do one check-in while I'm there, so I have it coded there too. But that's when we do our horseback. So horseback is from 11:30 to 12:30. But I know that I'm going to be gone. I can check on it, and you can see it's blocked off from 11:30 or 10:30 to 1:30, because that's when I leave and when I come home. So I make sure that I don't schedule anything there. It's not available. And anyone that has my calendar that's going to schedule things on there are not going to schedule it during that time. So there's no mess ups, but that's there. So color coding is really good. Anything that's red hot, that's in red. Some people do green because that means go. Green's already JD. So you color code what makes sense to you. So that's my little just color code. To me, that makes sense. Block out times you're going to do something. Like in the morning, you'll see most mornings I've got some, on Tuesday mornings, some specific check-ins. But the other mornings, I block out 2 hours to do my first post, try to get 15 conversations started, and add some new friends for the first 2 hours from 7 till 9. Sometimes I'm on the early morning huddle, so that takes up about half an hour of that. But block out those times. Make an appointment with yourself to do that. So schedule that time that you're going to be doing your 3 by 3 by 3, or if you want to ramp it up, your 10 by 10 by 3. And I'll talk more about something later when we're talking about structure, about systems. But block out time that you're going to work and stick to your calendar. Let your calendar be your guide, right? Because I'm telling you, with structure comes freedom. You're not trying to fit it in. You're like, oh, it came up on the calendar. This is my appointment to do my business. Anything else, like if you've got a scheduled Zoom with your mentor, or when you start having coaching partners on your team, and you're going to have scheduled weekly calls or Zooms with them, put it on here. You can see unless I have jury duty, I had yesterday. I normally connect with Jerry and Kathy and Mary Kay on Mondays. Nicole's over here, but code those, put those in so that when you have them, and different specific check-ins I've got marked in here as well. And then again, when you have coaching partners, we'll talk more about that, how you're going to have a scheduler. And what's nice about that is, and if any of you schedule time on my calendar for celebration calls or coach explores, when you set that up, it automatically plugs into my calendar because I set it up that way. So we don't have to coordinate. It just goes onto my calendar. But here's one huge tip when I finally figured this out that I want to share with you. So anything like the weekly, you'll see right here, the weekly Optavia Monday night coach call, if it comes up on my calendar, but look at this here. I've put in the description the Zoom. So when it's 7 o'clock, I get a little notification that it's time for the call. And right here, all I have to do is click on this and the Zoom's going to open. And the same thing with the call that comes afterwards. And if you wonder why they did that, here's the reason. Because as 1099 contractors, we've got something from corporate, and that's the Dr. A call. With an after training is from the sales field. So that's a separate number because the sales field is leading that, not corporate. So that's a different Zoom number. So when you set that up, here's how you would do that in your Google Calendar. So you would create an event, okay, and you would put in the title, when the time's going to be, so you would totally change that. And then you can add a description. And in your description is where, once you're given the link for something, and you would type in here, you know, the Zoom, you know, you're going to be given it, zoom.us, whatever, but someone's going to give it to you. But take that information and just copy it and paste it in here. And then that's how you're going to have that link, so that every time that comes up, like whether it's we've got FIBC boot camp or habits of health, that's in here, I'm not going to miss it. If I do, I've got the podcast and I can find the recording. But you want to attend that live. And here we go. I've got the Zoom link right here. So I don't need to worry about keeping a record of those Zoom links somewhere and trying to find it and remember which number it is and be on, you know, click on the wrong link and I'm going to be late because I can't find it. Have all of those. We've got the Level Up Boot Camp on Saturday, the Habits of Health on Wednesday, you know, Dr. A's coach, Zoom, and then the field-led one Monday night. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to keep track. I don't know what any of them are. But I've got them all here. I don't have to think about it. And then anything else. But color code, block in the time you're going to work your business, so that's an appointment for you. Plug in your non-negotiables. If you're picking up kids from school, if you've got another job, if you've got doctor's appointments, if you've got, you know, kids going to sports, if you've got, you know, other things, plug in time with your family. If you know, are visiting mom on Sunday evenings, if you're, you know, whatever you're doing, plug those in. And if you're not having date night or you're not having something, start plugging those in. Make those an important thing. I'm trying to think what else I want to make sure I've got in there. Plug in your client support. I've got a ton of client support. I used to have them all over the place. I got everyone on Tuesday, and then I started getting more clients, and I had to, you know, spread them out. But I'm now consolidating back and trying to get everyone on Tuesday. But unless you have like 40 clients, you know, it'd be better to start out having everyone on one day. A lot of people like to do Monday. I've just always had mine on Tuesday. And I'll tell you why. We have a heck of a lot of holidays on Mondays, and I hate to have to reschedule. So I like doing mine on Tuesdays, but a lot of people like to do them on Mondays. So, you know, have them however you like to do it. Hey, I do my check-ins on Mondays, and especially since we like to start our clients on Mondays, Monday is going to be their 1 week celebration. So it makes sense to do their check-ins on Monday, so your client support. So, hey, I check in on Monday from 10 till noon, so you can expect a call from me between 10 and noon. Or if you want to get more specific, 10 and 11 or 11 to noon. And then if they work or they're teachers and they can't accept that call, you know, between 5 and 7 in the evening, whatever works best for you, but you dictate that. Don't say when would be a good time to call, and then you're calling all week and it's running you crazy. Be like a dentist's office. There's no way you can call a dentist and say, hey, it'd be best for me to come at 3:30. And then they say, oh yeah, whatever's good for you. You know, be a professional and set that up. You know, I start my clients on Mondays. So we're going to do our journey kickoff Saturday or Sunday. You'll start on Monday. That's when our clients have the best success. I'll be calling you we're going to get more into that structure later. That's not this call, but it's just setting up your calendar. And when you can do this from your phone or from your computer, this is going to make your life that much easier because you're organized. You know when you're going to be doing things and you're not surprised. And someone says, you know, can you do this? And you look at your phone like, nope, I got something else already scheduled, but here's what I have available, because you can look at your phone and like here, you know, I'm going to unshare this now. Stop, share. So you can go, you know, look at your phone and scroll through and see what your time is like. Scroll through your days. It's not very clear, but you'll see it on your phone. And we can do some one-on-ones on this, but having your phone set and your calendar set is going to help a great deal. My number one tip, I think, out of all of that, maybe a couple number one tips, is having that Zoom number in your calendar and having your Zooms on your calendar. And notice there was no time set aside for scrolling, no Facebook scrolling. When I was in a business before that Kathy also was in, one of our great leaders, because mostly what we worked with was email, and he said, your job as a manager is not to be email checker. That was a great time suck. And when I finally got on Facebook at my mom's insistence back in 2010, one of my friends said, welcome to the great time suck of Facebook. It was, yeah, absolutely can be that. So don't, you're going to waste a lot of time and it's not going to grow your business. I'm going to do another training on how you can choose people to check on their posts, do comments and likes, and not get sucked into all of the other stuff on Facebook. But choosing that time that you're going to be working on Facebook, and other than that, just be nurturing those relationships. Another thing, just a tip kind of along this, is don't be multitasking. If you're going to be on a boot camp, especially, or on these, you know, 30 minutes or 1 hour a week Zooms, pay attention, take notes, and then choose action. If you're multitasking, honestly, all that is doing a lot of stuff poorly. So whatever you're doing, give full attention to it. If you're playing with your kids, play with your kids. If you've got grandkids over, play with the grandkids. If you're making dinner, if you're sitting with your family at dinner, turn off the phones, turn them over. But if you're doing a health assessment, do a health assessment. If you're doing a check-in, again, off it a little bit, but sit at a desk as if you're sitting across from a friend in a coffee shop, and do that check-in. Be fully attentive. Don't be walking around. Don't be writing on back of envelopes. We have health assessments and check-in sheets. You know, write that information down. I've got clients that are so amazed that I can say a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, so how is your mom in the nursing home? You know, are they doing better? How are you handling that stress? Create that relationship. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful as far as your calendar and your structure. We'll talk more about consistency and systems, but really use that calendar, decide when you're going to work, how much, whether it's 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and let's get that short up. So more coming hopefully today. Talk with you later. Let me see if I can figure out how to stop.